Hello everybody. Welcome back to our little tarot corner. Allie from Tarot here with another deck collection video. So, if you happen to see my most recent video on the channel, you will have seen all of my dark and spooky decks. Fun fact, I did miss a couple, but I'm not going to go backwards. We don't look back. But maybe next year I'll do a revamped version. Who knows? But today I thought we would kind of continue on with that trend and look at the next part of my collection, which is going to be my collage style decks. So I am also a big fan of collage art. I think it is fun and kind of crazy and cool to look at, and there's lots of things you can go off of, so I definitely enjoy me some collage. So we'll just jump right in. Again, short little disclaimer, as I did last time. This is in no way meant to encourage FOMO or to inspire you to go out and buy 1,000 decks. You don't need them. This is just something that I enjoy and I would like to share with you all. So, first little mini collection here within a collection is my 4 Oracle decks that I've not talked about. These are decks by Stacy on Etsy, and I have purchased 5 of her decks. So 4 of them come in these great little tuck boxes that kind of open here for the cards. And the themes of them are, so the first one is called Where Alice Went. It's kind of an Alice in Wonderland themed one, as you can see. What I really like that she does with her boxes is she kind of gives a little bit of information about the deck and the theme and things like that on the inside, like down the rabbit hole. So I love her little boxes, but this is the first one, and these are the backs. And what she did with these is she used backgrounds that are actual pages out of the story, and then she obviously collaged artwork with keywords on them. So these are actual pages out of the story Alice in Wonderland. Her artwork, I think specifically, really kind of encourages deep thought. Her choices are very, very interesting, and so it's kind of fun sometimes to ponder one for a minute. Yeah, it's just great. Simple little keywords, but the fun thing about these two, I'll show you this one as an example, is because it is artwork from a page, there's lots of little words. So you have knock, and then, there's all kinds of words that sometimes you can pull from those words too. If I could get my thoughts together. Sorry, guys. But yeah, so I'll show you just a couple more. The creator too, Sarah, is so sweet. Oh, here you go, like this card, begin, but it's the table of contents page. How cool, right? Anyway, so that is the Oracle Where Alice Went. I'll kind of show you the other one of hers that kind of carries the same sort of theme, and that is the Gatsby Oracle. Obviously, this is one themed around the Great Gatsby. She's got these fun themes. I love it so much. So in this one, it's kind of got the, the purpose of the deck, the people in the book, a little information about the actual book, The Great Gatsby, and then some little fun art. So this one, like I said, is kind of similar to the Alice Oracle in that this one is pages out of The Great Gatsby. Okay, here's a better example. The Alice one didn't work out for me so well, but this card kind of shows you an example of what I meant with the Alice card. So the keyword is, as we strolled out, we've got to go. And then to me, tell him we couldn't wait, will you? To be continued. When we came in the shed, wow. Okay, we're going to end the video here. No, I'm just kidding. When we came in, she held us silent for a moment with a lifted hand. To be continued, she said, tossing a magazine onto the table. In our very next issue. Like, she's so clever. She's so clever, and these are so great. While they do follow a theme like The Great Gatsby, honestly, the keywords are very, very universal and very useful. So these two are very, very fun. The book lover in me is all about these cards. And again, you know, there's lots to look at in these, even if the central image isn't extremely detailed. There's all of the words on the cards that you can kind of clue into. So definitely another reminder of why I love collage decks. Now the next one is a lot of fun. This is the Rockstar Oracle. And this one is probably my favorite. So these are the backs for this one. These are also large. Like, these are pretty decent size. In this one, she's got the keywords and where they came from and what artist inspired them, and then how to get the guidebook, all that fun stuff. But yeah, I mean, these are great. Let Your Spirit Shine by Miss Dolly Parton. Kindness. Kate Bush, Divinity. Recognizing Luminous Heaven. She's just so talented. Stevie Nicks, Try Making Magic. Hello. Perfect. Authenticity, Joni Mitchell. Synthesis, Bjork. Innovation, Beck. Mix It Up. It's just so great. Again, even she has this way where even if you have a theme, music, you have a specific artist, the keywords in and of themselves are enough. And then you have the individual aspects, the hummingbird, this flower, these plants here, the drink, perseverance, like fortified with love. So there's just so much that you can tap into. She really, even though there's a theme, they're all so freeing. And they're just beautiful. So yeah, that is the Rockstar Oracle. Two more from this lovely, lovely lady. The next one is the Astro Elemental Oracle. And as one might guess, it is a deck based on the elements. Fire, water, earth, and air. So for these are pretty much standard size. These are just some nature scenes with keywords. And they are, the scenes obviously correspond to the element. So this would be air, you know, this would be water. This would be, could be water or earth, I'm not sure. But anyway, I love these. These are very, again, they're so expansive, even though they're a single word. There's lots of ways to apply them. So I really appreciate this deck. It's a very smart deck too, and very comforting, I find. See, resist, and there's a rock. Need I say more? This card makes me think of the Flow Tarot. I believe that's what it's called. Marine from Waves of Your Soul has shown that deck recently, and I want it. I am a Virgo, so I'm an earth element, and I'm very much, or I'm an earth sign rather, so I am very attached to the element of earth, but Marine is all about the water, and that does look like a delicious deck, so who knows, that one may get scooped up. Okay, The last deck by her is a weird little science deck, I think is what she calls it. I think. It comes in this little canvas bag. This is the only one that's not boxed. And it's a small square. And this one is very, very colorful. And it's got little phrases on it that you can use. So, among the delicate and bright cold water queens, we experienced being tropical. Fame starts to double that way. The old birds sort of ruffle their feathers. Like, how great. It is weird. It's very, very aptly named. Always look directly into time. Lots to read into. You can tell that Sarah is certainly an artist, and her oracles are all very, very creative and different. And I love them. There's just lots of wisdom in them. I love this one. A nest or den may look like thorns. Home emerges in many plants. So, for example, this kind of makes me think of the phrase, home is where the heart is, right? So it doesn't necessarily matter where you physically are, because home is where your heart is. Like, the people are what make up the home, not the physical house or the physical place that you're in. So that kind of makes me think of that type of message. They laid in rainbow-esque water. That speaks to me of the happiness, kind of like the Ten of Cups. Like, you're at this emotionally fulfilled place, and that's wonderful. So maybe you just need to take time and relax in that water. So, yeah. I love this deck so much. I'm still getting to know it. I'm still getting to know all of her decks. I kind of went Etsy crazy and threw all of them into my cart. So we've been getting introduced to these. The young sky is mainly active at night. I don't know. For some, it might not really make sense. It might not really be a workable oracle, but I love the fact that in saying very little, it says everything. Or you can say in saying everything, it says very little, vice versa. Anyway, okay, so those are all of my Sarah decks. Now, I introduce to you the Blue Rose Tarot. This is an out-of-print deck. You can recognize the bag. This was kind of a Carol Herzer collaboration, I guess you could say. I don't remember the actual artist. I think it's in here somewhere, so we'll probably see it. This deck I have only seen on one other person's channel, and right now I am blanking on whose channel it was. And I am a big Carol Herzer fan. That's actually probably going to be one of my collections videos, but the Chariot.com. I really like that. It's obviously the Chariot card. But I reached out to Carol and I said, Miss Carol, do you have any copies of the Blue Rose Tarot? And she said that she did have one copy that was her personal one, but she was like, if you really want it, you can have it. Like, I'm not going to use it. And there's like 3 or 4 cards in here that I don't totally understand the choice behind the imagery. Like, that's just really distracting, sorry. This one, for instance, like the 3 of Swords. I've looked at this card and tried to think about this card, and I can't get there with my brain. So if someone sees something in this card or can point me in the direction of what this is kind of leading you to see, please let me know. Because I would love to figure it out. I can't wrap my brain around this card. But anyway, so yeah, so she allowed me to buy it from her. And I do enjoy its very quirkiness. She did tell me that the artist did make a guidebook, but you cannot get it anymore. And she told me that she completely walked away from making decks and everything altogether and kind of secluded themselves. So this one's kind of creepy, but I like it. So anyway, she was kind of like, good luck getting the guidebook. I sold mine a long time ago, and you will not be able to contact the creator. So I was just kind of like, okay. That being said, if any of you also have this deck and you have the guidebook, holler at a sister, because I will gladly purchase a copy of it, or I will pay you to make copies of it and send them to me so that I can have the guidebook. I really like this one, the Five of Wands. It takes two to tango, like stepping on each other's toes. It really aligns kind of with the way I see the Five of Wands. So anyway, the cardstock in this one, obviously it's very glossy and it's very thin. It's kind of, if you're familiar with Carol Herzer decks, it's handmade, hand laminated, and so it's very thin and obviously laminated, like I said, and so it kind of makes for an interesting shuffle, these decks. It's kind of it's a little bit of a thick boy, but I don't mind. It's kind of slippery, but it's easy to side shuffle. It's not as easy to riffle shuffle. It kind of clumps. Whoop. Yeah, it's not really the best riffler, but yeah. Anyway, that is the Blue Rose Tarot. Unfortunately out of print. And again, if any of you has a copy of the guidebook or knows how to get one, let me know. Okay, moving on. Next deck is a new deck to my collection. Literally like just got it this week, and that is the Jumble Dance Tarot by Alexandra Gennady. This is a deck that I've seen recently on Thea at Garden Goddess Tarot's channel. She posted it on her Instagram story, and I was like, what is that deck? I need to have it. She was like, it's the Jumble Dance Tarot. So I looked it up. It is a collage deck. Apparently it was first made in 1998. So it's like old school style collage, which I heavily enjoy. This little guidebook's kind of chunky. It's nice because in some of the cards it tells you where the artwork comes from. So there's a little bit of information in there on some of the cards. These are the backs. I will say these are a little bit larger than standard size, but I'm still able to riffle it just fine because the cardstock is nice and flexible, so no issues there. But yeah, this deck is a lot of fun. Again, it's the old school collage style that they handmade way back when. So interesting. I love the old pottery that they've got throughout the cup suit. It is somewhat Thoth-like in that they structured their courts kind of like the Thoth deck. So there's the boy and then the girl and then the man and then the woman. So it's a little bit not completely Rider-Waite, but you could certainly read it as a Rider-Waite deck. Again, I'm going to be repeating myself a lot here, but just like all the other collage decks, there's so many things to look at. Like, okay, so let's look at this card. So this is the Empress. I'm pretty sure there's something in this guidebook that talks about where this is. Okay, yeah. So the guidebook says, the figure of the Madonna from the famous painting by Raphael serves as our Empress. She is the nurturing mother for us all, her ultimate creativity expressed as a creation of a child, a male child out of her own female body. She possesses the ability to create beyond her own experience. Her fertility and abundance is also expressed in the basket of roses that surround her and also through the hair at her feet. The hair is connected through many tails to the moon, and it can conceive again when it is already pregnant. Roses, of course, are a longtime symbol of love. So, and it just kind of goes on from there. But, so like I said, sometimes when they've got art from pictures, art from magazines, historical paintings, or figures that they have woven into the deck. Like this is a, oh gosh, now I'm losing it. Where'd that one come from? I know that one, William Blake. Thank you. That is from a William Blake painting. From Paradise Paradise Lost specifically. And then in the background, it's one of the paintings by Georgia O'Keeffe. So you've got William Blake and Georgia O'Keeffe in this card. It's just so great. Look at this High Priestess. I love her. So yeah, just fascinating. Again, it's still new, so I'm learning to work with it. But so far, I'm really enjoying the ride. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. So anyway, I'll stare at these forever. That is the Jumble Dance Tarot. Let's see next. Get it in my box here. Okay. Next is the Enchanted Tarot by Amy Zerner and Monty Farber. So this deck I happened to get for very, very cheap at Books A Million here in town. I got it for $10. Now, the drawback is it doesn't have a guidebook or anything with it. I know that the 10th anniversary edition or the 20th anniversary edition, I'm not sure, whichever one you can get on Amazon has like the big box set and all that. I don't have a guidebook. It's just the cards, but I made peace with that. These are the backs. The gold is kind of shiny. I don't like it. And they're kind of slippery and they're longer than normal. They're about the same width as standard, but they're way long. And this deck is actually like textiles. Like all these are pieces of fabric down here that they have collaged and then put the figures on. In this deck, the hearts are the cups. I'm not sure if I dig this deck the most yet, just because I don't really like pink. And there's a lot of pink in this deck, but I can get past it. But look at this detail. See, we got the lace up there. Look at the flowers down here on fabric. Just really cool and different. I have seen Lisa Pepez talk about this deck before. I don't know, it's neat. Obviously the sword suits is blue and the pentacles are green. Again, look at all these fabrics woven to create the background. Majors are purple and the wands are yellow. You can really tell in this card. So yeah, it's neat. I'm not upset that I only spent $10 on it. I can't be too mad about it. It's just interesting and a little dainty feeling. I really like this King of Wands. He's cool looking. Plus, like the amount of time that it took to create this, I can't imagine. Again, pretty wider weight Smith friendly as well. So it's easy to read. And that's another reason why I felt like I didn't really need a box. Not a box, a guidebook. I'm okay with it. And yeah. Okay, this is a bad video for me to make, so I'm just going to get distracted by all the collage work, but that is the Enchanted Tarot. Next, we have the Shewolf Tarot. This is a deck that I've seen a lot online, and I am very happy about that because I love this deck. I think it's great. So, this deck definitely gets me into a kind of, definitely like a 70s, funky desert, kind of a little bit like the Moonchild or Starchild, but a little bit less cosmic, I feel, and a little bit more grounded. Again, I'm saying I don't like pink. There's a whole lot of pink in this deck, but I vibe with this one. These are the backs. The cardstock, obviously, as you can see, is very glossy. Edges are a bright, shiny pink. There is nudity in this deck, full warning. On my channel, that's kind of a given. So sorry. But this deck is stunning. This deck, to me, is it's kind of like the Witch's Tarot for me, in a way that it is glorifying femininity. Very much so. And again, all the warm oranges and pinks and even the blues are kind of warm, and the purples that are brought in, and it makes me feel some type of way. Like you're hanging out in the desert, exploring your wild femininity. Like the Magus. What does that resemble? Powerful stuff, man. This card, or this deck, really, I like to bust it out when I need a dose of like bad bitch medicine, you know? Whereas the Witch's Tarot, this definitely reminds me of Stevie Nicks, hardcore. And of course it's the High Priestess. But this deck does what the Witch's Tarot does for me, in that it definitely embraces wild femininity. But this one, I don't know. The Witch's Tarot to me feels a little more serious, where this one is like a little more fun. Queen of Cups, again, very phallic art. I'm just a fan. I love this deck very, very much. This is the sister deck, or it's at least a deck that was made by the same creator as the Serpent Fire Tarot, and I've seen that one online as well. I got this one in a trade because, again, I knew that I wouldn't, I knew that I might not like all the pink, but as soon as I got it, I was smitten, and that's never changed. I will say, too, it's really cool to kind of just look at the backgrounds up top. Like, it's all pastels. So you've got pastel pinks and greens and yellows and blues and purples. It's very funky and cool. So I like it very much. Anyway, I like the idea of the Serpent Fire Tarot as well, but I don't know. I love my Shewolf, so who knows. Next is a somewhat recent purchase. It is kind of one that I bought back when I first started using tarot in 2019, early 2020. I purchased the Vertigo Tarot, and mine was the big white boxed set. I guess it was the first edition, and I didn't use the cards, and so I eventually sold it. Now that I'm more into tarot and can understand it more and read it more, and also after watching The Sandman with Josh, it made me want the deck back. So I ended up finding a second edition that was still available and readily available and decently priced. And these cards are a little bit different in that the cardstock is glossy. First one was matte. The cardstock is also a little thinner. These are kind of papery. And they're smaller, so these are more standard size for sure. This is a standard size deck, whereas the other ones, like I said, were, longer. But this whole deck is an homage to Vertigo comics by DC, one of which being the Sandman. Now, it's not a Sandman deck, but it has that very strange, very dreamy, kind of trippy artwork that, like I said, I wish that I hadn't gotten rid of my first copy, but I didn't know what I had. Such is life, right? And there are actual characters, obviously, from the Sandman comics, people that I would recognize now after watching the series. But there's also other books by the Vertigo, under the Vertigo umbrella, that, so I don't know everything in this deck, but I do appreciate it a lot more now. I mean, look at that. This deck's a lot of fun. It can take you to some freaking weird places, but I enjoy it. Obviously, as you can tell, the cups in this deck have a more blue hue. The pentacles have kind of a silvery white hue. The swords are kind of coppers and oranges. Oh, here's a great card, the Justice card. And what did I not show? Swords, wands. So the wands are also kind of warm colors, but they are, in certain cards, they're a bit more colorful. I'm not making sense, I know. Just enjoy the cards, I guess. I'm sorry, I'm not a very good explainer today. Maybe I shouldn't have made this today, but, you know, it's been a minute. As you can see, definitely some really cool collage stuff going on in this deck. I really like this Empress card a whole lot. You can see the real fruit in the background. So yeah, anyway. That is the Vertigo Tarot. Next is the sister to a deck that I've talked about before. I didn't have this deck last time we talked. I had her companion tarot, the Mysteries of the Black Madonna Tarot. This is the Mysteries of Mary Tarot that I recently got in. This is by Hettian Grobler. And this has proven to be a great, great deck, both in the morning and at night, honestly. It's a very, okay, sorry, I had to pull a chair up, my back. But a very, very sweet, gentle deck is this Mary one. She contrasts to her sister deck in that she has bright colors and the Black Madonna is darker. This one comes with a little plastic rosary, which I just keep in the bag. And then the title card and some little goodies that came with it. The cardstock on this one is a little different too. This deck is more glossy, whereas the Black Madonna Tarot is matte. So they are thick. They're kind of more, I would say, Oracle size too. But I consider these collage just because, you know, she created these little individual altars and photographed them. So each of these little pieces is something that she actually built. And I believe she either does, or at least she did at one point. I don't know if you could see any of that. I guess I won't stand. Guys, struggle. Or I won't sit. Whatever. Okay. At one point, she either did, or she still does, offer these little altars for sale in her shop. Again, you can see obviously all the bright colors on the backgrounds, and it's just a great deck. I too, just like the Mysteries of the Black Madonna Tarot, I only pull one or two cards from this one, and then I kind of dive into the guidebook. The book is really where this deck shines and where the Mysteries of the Black Madonna shines. These decks tend to go kind of in and out of print. She does go a little bit between print runs as well, so I don't know if you can still get them currently, but if you can't, never fear. There hopefully will be some more at some point. But yeah, I guess not literally, you know, paper collage, but I don't know. With all the layering of these little elements, I kind of consider this collage. I love this death card. You can see, obviously, she's renamed the suits. Yeah, she's very, very wise and very, very versed in the information regarding the subject matter in her decks. And so I really like to use her guidebooks, like I said, as the message. So yeah. I didn't bring the Black Madonna deck up just because, like I said, we've seen that one before, but we haven't seen this one on my channel yet. So this is the Mysteries of Mary Tarot by Hetty and Grobler. Now it's going to take me a minute to get my little things in my bag, but that's okay. Okay. Next is a deck that I've talked about before. It is the Prairie Majesty Oracle by Kara Simons and Amy Putnam-Coig. This one, again, I don't know if it technically falls under collage, but I kind of feel that it does because these are the backs. This is just the mass market version. I was not lucky enough to get the indie, but I feel like this one falls in collage because in some of the cards, she has photography laid behind her art. So I'm going to count it as a collage deck. And if you don't like that, well, you can fight me. Yeah, see this? Like, this is more photography that's behind the flowers. So there was some layering going on there. This is another picture of the sky behind the eagle. And not every card has that, but there are some that do. This deck is very, very much a deck that I like to build spreads off of, or deck that I like to do readings from, but you can use it again in several ways. You can use the central question, build spreads, or pull cards off of that question. You can, do a little bit of research about the animal. You can simply use the one keyword at the bottom as that applies. So very versatile deck again. She is, Kara Simons, that is one of the co-creators of the Grandmother's Oracle. I've talked about that numerous times, I know, but this is who co-created this deck. Obviously with art by Amy Putnam-Coig. Am I pronouncing that wrong? I believe I am. Amy Putnam-Coig. Yes. I do apologize, Amy, if I'm still butchering it. Anyway, so that is the Prairie Majesty Oracle. Great, great deck. And next we have a couple decks by the same creator. We have the Vision of the Muse Oracle and the Linus Oracle Tarot. These are both by, I honestly don't remember. I got these a while back. The Linus Oracle Tarot by Alejandra Leon. I put this Linus Oracle Tarot in the bag that I think is technically for the Starman Tarot by David Bowie, surrounding David Bowie, but the star card in this deck is David Bowie, and I just decided that it fit. So this deck, I don't know if I've shown or not before, but these are the backs. It's got matte gold gilding. This was actually one of my first collage style decks that I ever bought, and I'm still hardcore in love with it. I love the white borders on this deck. I think it kind of helps rein everything in to where the collage work isn't so overwhelming. This was one of the decks that kind of gave me a taste of, oh, so tarot can go, tarot can go way over here and be way different. Okay, cool. So this is one of the first decks that I kind of got to explore. There's a lot of celestial stuff in this deck, as well as big cats. Love this High Priestess card. Now let me see if I can find, the David Bowie card. But you can see it's just stunning. Look at this sweet little Page of Pentacles. How can you not? I mean, it's got several things. It's got the classical art, obviously the objects or collage, the backgrounds. Love this Devil card. It just does so many wonderful things. Okay, here it is. David Bowie is the star. Iggy Stardust, rather. I love it. Look at this Knight of Cups. It's perfect. Suit of armor and some pink roses. Hello. The Ten of Swords. Love it. Yeah. I haven't picked this one up in a while, and I'm really sad. So this is the Nine of Swords. You got the Nosferatu and the super scared cat, and this red, red kind of creepy background. I love it so much. Flowers, big cats, space. That's what you're gonna kind of get with this deck. And I love it. Okay, so that's the Linus Oracle Tarot. And I have her companion oracle. It's called Vision of the Muse. Kind of along the same lines. She also has an astrology based deck, and I thought about getting that one, but I have not pulled the trigger on that one yet. This is the back of these. I love how on the backs of both of her decks there are jewels. I don't know what the back of the astrology deck looks like. You can see matte gold gildings. They kind of match. They go really, really well hand in hand. And I find that these keywords are really strong. Got humor, initiation. This to me looks like a middle finger. I love it. Bless, patience, allow. Like, what strong keywords. Realization. Sometimes it can be kind of challenging to read the script, so it may take me a minute to read the title, but it's never too bad. Spell with an unlit candle. I just love it. I love it. You can see how it coincides with the Linus Oracle Tarot perfectly. I like using this oracle just to pull cards on itself too. It doesn't really need anything behind it. There's enough here. See, wisdom, cycles, the moon, ritual, inspiration. So it's not whitewashed to where it's only happy things. There are some challenging words in here. Of course, I'm getting all the nice ones. Okay, well, not their best example, but I promise there are great keywords in here. Courage, shield, truth, curiosity, pause, rest, intuition, release, balance, depletion, magic, transformation. So yeah, really, really strong oracle, and they work so well together, obviously, because they were created by the same person. Stop repeating yourself, Allie. No one cares. Okay, so those were those. And we are actually down to the last collage deck that I have to show you. And that is the Telesma Tarot. I've showed this one before, so I won't spend very long on it at all. This is a deck that Marine, Waves of Your Soul, also loves. This one's just fun. This is truly, again, the definition of having a collage deck where you've got so many things to look at and so many things to pin on, or, to pinpoint or pull up or focus in on. If you've watched for this long, thank you for still being here. This one really is rough, but I hope that you just liked seeing my pretties. Yeah, this is a great deck. Again, it's kind of oversized. I love the backs. Kind of oversized. This is one that I definitely have to side shuffle. I shuffle it like this. And that does really well. So it's not a bad side shuffler. But that is the Telesma Tarot. So that does complete all of my collage style decks, at least that I can think of. I hope you enjoyed getting to look at all of them with me. And thank you again for spending time with me. Let me know if you have any opinions on what you want me to show next. I can show my animal decks, my earthy decks, my kind of feminine power, goddessy type decks, my fine art decks. So y'all let me know what you want to see. And until next time, bye guys.